Right. The first question was about his name being interested in the Auburn job. And then there was a question about Deion Sanders as well. It's kind of a follow-up or a secondary question. On the Auburn job, we don't really comment on those things, and they happen every year a lot of times. All they are is a product of players performing very well and assistant coaches. We're extremely happy here. Got something really special going, have great support here from administration and the chancellor, just trying to get better, to get ready to play the best program in the last 10 years of college football coming in here. He was asked what he says to his players about his name being public. I don't tell the players anything. We have a pro mindset here that, players have jobs to do and coaches, and that's how we run our program. I don't tell them about it because it's got nothing to do with anything. We got to prepare really well every day and be ready to play in the toughest conference, toughest division. It's really like being in the NFL. Every week's a grind, every game. And then he was asked about Deion Sanders to Auburn. He says, I think he'd do great. I think that's a great name, and they should hire him. Great recruiter, great name. And then he kind of went a little deeper. This is a different world we're in right now. Recruiting's always been important, but now you have the portal, so you have kids. You can change a roster faster than you ever could before, and you can lose a roster faster than you ever could before. The ability to hire a guy like Deion and have that name right away and portal people wanting to come play for him right away, you can flip a roster, where before, realistically, it would take 2 to 3 years to truly turn a roster around. You can do it immediately. You see teams get depleted and look completely different the next year, like our team. I mean, picture our team without the portal and take those guys out of there, what it looks like. Ole Miss fans would prefer not to picture that. He's right about it being different. It's never been like this. If you were looking for immediate impact, guys, it was a rare 5-star freshman or a JUCO or the occasional grad transfer. Whereas with this Ole Miss team this year, transfer quarterback, transfer running back, true freshman running back, transfer impact linebacker, another transfer impact linebacker. It's all over the field. Yeah. And it was last year too.
The question is, it's twofold, because I had people ask me about that the second those quotes came out, which, by the way, there are people that cover SEC football that intentionally or unintentionally, and they're just incompetent, like hear what somebody says and type different. It's bizarre. Like, I have seen 5 different iterations of the Kiffin quote today. The one I sent you guys, that's the accurate one. That's the transcript one. But people manipulate his words. It's bizarre. And they do it with all coaches, not just this one. But I had people text me, see, he doesn't want the Auburn job. I'm like, that's not exactly what he said. That was a very good...
No, if you wanted to look at that through a different lens, I mean, I know he's talking about Deion Sanders there, but the same would apply to him.
Yep.
As it pertains to the Auburn job, about flipping a roster.
Because he can do that. That is not a denial.
Constructing and destructing a roster.
Right. That in no way, shape, or form was a denial. Now, I believe him. I do think he's happy. There's some personal things that have happened in his life that would lead you to believe that he's quite happy where he is. And also, Ole Miss is paying him $7.5 million. Probably easy to be happy with that salary and they're winning games and all that. I believe that side, but that's not him saying no. The next question is, why would he give an open endorsement to Deion Sanders for Auburn? Why would he tell Auburn to hire that guy? I find that funny. He's also tweeted a link out to the quotes as well. I mean, just openly like, hey, Auburn, hire not me. What's the motivation behind that?
Well, I mean, he was asked. He was asked.
Somebody says he wants to get rid of an in-state recruiting rival.
He's asked about it. If he had just been like, no, I'm happy here, but man, I think Auburn could still look at Deion Sanders. That's one thing. The guy asked him about Deion Sanders, and what's he going to do? Say, no, I think he's a crap coach and a terrible person? No, he's not going to say that.
And then as somebody...
Well, hold on, there's one more angle. There's one more angle here. Every sports show that covers college football in America is going to talk about Lane Kiffin talking about Deion Sanders.
True.
You think he didn't know that when he said that about Deion?
True. He's pretty darn good at that, as it turns out. Really good at that.
Yeah. So anyway.
But somebody asked the question on the text line. Well, why not deny it? Why not deny it? And I've gotten that today too. Why doesn't I had somebody text me that said, I'm so sick of this. Why can't he just say he's not going? Leverage. Even if he knows, let's pretend for a second he knows that if Auburn calls, if Cohen calls, which he may not, that he's going to say no. If he knows that, you don't give that up for a couple of reasons. Personal reasons and program reasons. Personal, he wants to get more money. As long as his name keeps hitting these hot boards, Keith Carter's going to keep getting pressure to pay him more. Leverage. His agent is too smart to let him give up leverage to get more money. He's going to get more money from Ole Miss. The longer this drags out, the higher that price goes. And two, the collective has grown by 400% in the last couple of days. By the time that Ole Miss plays Alabama, if they keep on this path, they will have 4,000 to 5,000 monthly donors to their collective. You want to know why that has happened? Because his name keeps coming up for the Auburn job. So even if he already knows his answer.
The reason that has been cited by national writers is that Lane Kiffin is frustrated with some of the NIL situation at Ole Miss.
And people are responding to that. So why would you shut that down? Why would you get people, guys, I'm good. Everything's good here. I'm fine. I'm happy with it all. I'm good. Why would you do that? There is a sign-up blitz to give monthly donations to the collective that's actually surprising me with how fast it's growing by the thousands in 48 hours. Why would you stop that? Bad business if you do.